Mom complains she doesn't see us enough but isn't very nice to us when we do see her. My mother is unfortunately a just no mother and also a just no mill for my long suffering, so not on the level of most of you all, but she is just incredibly difficult. She was quite controlling and manipulative, to the point I struggled moving out and she expected me home every few weeks despite living 4 hours away, talk on the phone every day or two, go on all family holidays, etc. Over 15 years I slowly woke up to the fact this isn't normal and pulled away, which she didn't take well, even telling me I made her depressed, but we mostly repaired things as she came to terms with the fact I'm an adult whose entire life no longer evolves around her. The thing is, when I do see her, she 90% of the time she just isn't very nice. She is hyper negative, complains about everything, puts me down, scoffs at any concerns I have, tells my partner they are wrong whenever they open their mouth. She's also such a general downer. Her favorite topic of conversation is how someone she knows is dead/dying. This can be as loose a connection as the man who used to work in the corner shop by their old house. Her new thing is complaining 24/7 about how she doesn't have enough money. She owns 5 properties and is literally on holiday 50% of the year since retiring. Drives me mad. Her current favorite phrase is "we aren't rich, you know." Because of a combination of all the holidays and the fact spending time with her is generally unpleasant and a total effort, we have only seen her once this year. She has been complaining non-stop about not having visited us where we live now, so I invited her, but she says she can't come because of the cat, despite the fact I said the cat could also come, even though I'd rather she didn't bring him because we literally just bought our first furniture and he will get on it and get it hairy and scratch it. She will not leave the cat with anyone except this one lady who gets booked up a year in advance. It's wild. So I cave and say we will come visit, give her a list of 8 dates we can do. She is on holiday for all of them. I just how does she not see that maybe we are not the issue here? I really have no idea how to negotiate this relationship anymore. The thing is, it's not like she has done anything that bad. I wouldn't go no contact. She's just an absolute pain in the ass. Anyone had a similar experience? Comment. Yes, Mom, it's really sad you can't make it. You have a lot to put up with. It's nice we can talk like this. Let's enjoy this call. Agree and redirect. Yes, Mom, it'd be great if you could arrange a visit. How is the cat? Keep calls short and frequent. Okay, Mom, I gotta go. There's someone at the door / time to clock in / my food's cooked. You can modify her behavior. Every time she's miserable, oh, that's sad, gotta go, bye. She doesn't even need to know that you're cutting her off when she's miserable. Just do it every time. You can end the call without her permission. I understand you don't want to go and see, but how about letting her take the initiative for visits and such? Stop trying so hard. And any put-downs to you or rude remarks to your so should be met with ending the visit, call, etc. Also, stop taking the bait. "We're not rich" is a sympathy ploy. Say something bland like "I know it sucks." Then change the topic. She talks about people dying? I know it sucks. Then change the topic. Stop feeding the troll. I have 50 years of experience with the JNM. I've trained her to text rather than call with nothing to say. She still calls my sister daily, but even sister doesn't always answer now. It is a process, and it's not always easy, but you've got this. Perhaps don't update your mom on anything personal, and when she starts to become negative then terminate the conversation. As in, Mom, you are starting to become very negative, so I will let you go and we'll catch up another time. Continue to do that each and every time, and at some stage she will realize you no longer are going to listen once she starts. The whole "you make me depressed" is manipulative. Sorry you feel that way, Mom. Is it because I'm not doing what you want? But I would have thought that you would want me to be happy, and that means accepting that there is things that I want to do that make me happy. Or is that not important or valid to you? Mom, I have offered you multiple options for us to come visit and non-work because you are on holidays, which is fine, and I have even offered for you to bring your cat despite the fact we don't want it here on our new furniture, but that still doesn't work for you. I'm out of options, so I will leave it with you. Kick the ball back into her court. During the next visit, when she is being particularly negative, ask her if she thinks people might visit more often if she was a more positive person. Give her a little blank book and tell her to write something she is thankful for every night before bed, and tell her you hope it will help her to see the more positive things in her life. This is my mill too. She wanted to see us all the time. Would whine and complain and get angry that she didn't know our kids even though we were visiting at least every other week, but oftentimes weekly and sometimes more than once a week. She would text us at 3 p.m. and expect us to drop what we were doing and go see her. Would guilt and manipulate us to stay longer even though our visits were several hours long. Overstayed her welcome every time we would invite her here. Oftentimes my fella would leave without her because he wanted to go home, and we would have to tell her it was time to go. She never came to the kids' sporting events we invited her to, and if she did, she never wanted to sit and cheer them on but would be upset with us if we were too busy to go see her. Whatever time we gave her was just never enough, and it was straining my marriage and affecting the mental health of both my husband and I. Then COVID happened and we went months without seeing them. It was glorious. So when people started socializing in person again, we kept our distance and gradually went no contact. It's been great, except she has attempted to see and speak to us several times. I know you don't want to go no contact. I would just stick to your boundaries. I would not change my schedule to accommodate her or see her when you really don't want to. If you see her, you see her, and if you don't, you don't. Sounds a lot like my mill. Nothing is ever good enough. Wants to spend more time with us. Complains every time we've gone on vacations with her. Always a problem when we are on vacation, to her, not in reality. She never has any money. Always talking politics, the latest animal attack, her friend whose adult son has cancer. She is the epitome of Rachel Dratch's character Debbie Downer. I have very recently come to the conclusion that they don't want to be happy for anyone with happy news or happy lives, because that forces them to admit they are choosing to be miserable, which in their minds is easier to be. They genuinely don't want to, or don't know how to, be truly happy, even in the happiest moments of their lives. Next story 2. Mill requires more attention than a newborn. Hey folks. I probably should have posted here ages ago, but this is my first. I've been married to my wife for almost a year, and together for 7 years. My Mill, who I will affectionately refer to as Minnie Mouse due to her love of Disney and status as the world's oldest toddler, is 72F. Not only does she act like a baby, she is tiny, 4 feet 10 inches, and refers to herself as Little Minnie. My wife and I live up north, but come down to my in-laws' retirement village a few times a year to help them. Minnie Mouse has a whole host of health issues. This is when you start to feel bad for her. She'll insist that she can't seem to take care of properly. I'm broken. Just a medical mystery, she tells the doctors, and the waitress at lunch, and complete strangers who don't care. She is not, by the way. Her health is complicated but not mysterious. And yet she never stops talking about her health, or in general. We're here now as Minnie has recently started dialysis. She and my Phil, Mickey, nearly deaf, and deeply depressed, but therapy is not something he'll even consider, are having a very difficult time with the learning curve of doing her dialysis each night, and are clearly overwhelmed by all of it, so we're doing our best to help them while nudging them to move back up north near us. They've only been in the mouth of hell, high from Central Florida, for a year because Minnie got suckered into buying a house while visiting a friend. Despite being a diabetic for 30 years, Minnie took her insulin wrong yesterday and triggered a low glucose attack that resembled a seizure. We took her to the ER, my wife was worried sick, but all Minnie could talk about was how this trip to the ER better not interrupt our afternoon plans to go antiquing. Every staff member who came in was a new audience. She flirted with the, clearly uncomfortable, doctor, asked the CT tech how was your poop, after he excused himself to use the restroom, and one point pointed out that I looked mortified and needed to lighten up, because what's the point of having company if you can't be dramatic? They got her glucose up and we were discharged. I suggested we head home, but no. We had to go antiquing. We get back in the car and head toward the little town she picked, making sure to read road signs aloud for every moment of the drive, except when she answered a phone call to chat with a friend. My wife and I just sat there silently. So she made my wife drive an hour, then decided she was too tired when we arrived, so sat on a bench on the town square. That was her big day she couldn't miss. As we headed back to the car, there was a large Hispanic family near us speaking Spanish. I am Jewish, but my mill is waspy as they come, we're all white. I didn't even notice them until Minnie spoke up. Are we even in the same country? What? I ask, genuinely confused. Everybody's Mexican. Is this even still America? She has a shit-eating grin. She thought she was hilarious. It's Florida, Minnie, Lots of people speak Spanish. I deadpan, disgusted and hoping that perfectly nice family didn't overhear my racist mill running her mouth. I didn't speak to her again the rest of the way home, but she kept my wife very entertained talking about all of the pictures she had taken in the town square and how she couldn't wait to post them on Facebook and make everyone so jealous. Of what, Minnie? Comment. Had your mill always been like this? Or has it gotten worse the last few years? I only ask because if she's just started dialysis it means she's got end-stage renal disease. I know personally how that screws with your emotions and how weird you can get as you see it coming and then have to accept it's happening. In no way am I excusing her. This behavior is insufferable. And should 10,000% be a far. Just throwing it out there, it would be very weird with these new treatments, diagnosis, and having to mentally face the probable ending that she would be thinking clearly. Might be helpful if your DW nudge her into therapy either way. I know for certain that she's assigned a social worker through her clinic. They can help. Some people might want to try and buy still in that particular village of hers, however it's nearly impossible to get homeowners insurance in FL. You might be stuck visiting Central FL for a long time. Can you get some earplugs and block out that mouse? This is her find out phase after she fucked around, so let her deal with her bad choices. It's nice you are both down there trying to help her. At the end of the day she's got to deal with it all. Enjoy the ultimate house of mouse while you're there. Have you had the talk with your wife about what happens if one of them passes? What are the expectations and what are you prepared to live with for the next few years? My specialty here seems to be aging parents. I got a front row show to my parents dealing with theirs, and my parents pretty much made their own aging idiot proof for my older brother and I. Which we appreciate immensely. My advice is to get out front and find out as much as you can. You don't want to be caught off guard and pressured into anything that will feel like driving nails up your veins for years to come. I am not sure what you are asking here, so I will focus on the title. She sounds annoying, especially with her old worldview of bigotry and racism. How embarrassing. Unfortunately, you are stuck with her. She is your mill. Her needing medical attention is important. She also will want to do things like antique shopping and being diabetic end up too tired to follow through. One day she will truly be a toddler who requires more attention than a newborn, and you might need to think about what the means in the form of a caretaker or a home. Medical bills will also continue to increase, especially as a diabetic. My advice is you can make plans with her, and if she changes her mind that's fine. You decided on a time frame of doing something for her, so how she wants to spend that time is her business. You don't have to be at her beck and call driving her everywhere whenever. That is in your control.